So thank you, Buff. Tonight, well, Saturday is the spring equinox or the vernal equinox. It's when the length of the night is the same as the length of the day, a balance of sorts. It's also a time when, you know, spring, everything is growing and enjoying life, and there's a lot of energy out there. And so we're going to concentrate tonight on some poses that might help us, you know, think about spring and opening our own selves up to it and so on. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to start on our backs tonight. And so you can be in Shavasana with your legs straight out. Or with your knees bent, either way is fine. If you have them bent, you might like to have them tilt in towards each other. Your arms can be by your side or on your tummy so you feel your breath. And then just make yourself comfortable. And close your eyes if that's all right with you. And then we're going to start with deep inhales and slow exhales. So let's go ahead and try that. Inhaling deeply, exhaling slower. And do that again, inhaling deeply, feeling your belly rise if your hands are on your tummy. And exhaling fully. And making it longer than your inhale. And do this for the next few breaths. And maybe feel yourself relaxing into the earth with each exhale. Your body may lose some tension that you might have had earlier. With each exhale, you may find your muscles relaxing into the earth rising up to hold you. And then go ahead and return to your natural breath. And usually, well, we often start with corpse pose as well, but we often end with corpse pose. But tonight, what we're doing is we're treating corpse pose as the end of winter, an ending, and a beginning also of spring. So it's a symbolic waking up from our deep winter sleep and awakening into spring. Consider the energy of spring and think about how you would like to tap into that energy. Spring is all about blooming. Consider how you might like to bloom in some or all parts of your life. Spring is also about growth. So consider how you might like to nurture your growth in the next few months. As the whole world around you is filled with fertile energy and growth, you can use this energy to help you grow your ideas, hopes, and dreams. Nature is renewing and growing. So if you like, you could decide what you want this spring season to bring you and set an intention. There's great power in intention. There's also great power in imagining. So consider your intention like planting a seed, just as the world is starting to grow from seeds, and grow some special seeds of your own. And take a few moments right now to consider what you might like your intention to be, whatever is meaningful to you. And this is not required. But if you want to go ahead and set an intention, go ahead. And now let's go ahead and open our eyes. We're going to stretch our body all the way out, just like a bear coming out of hibernation, reaching with your hands and reaching with your feet, and maybe even yawning. And then release on out of that. And let's start by bending our knees with the feet on the floor. And we'll draw the right knee in towards the chest. And we can take our hands around the shin or the thigh, or just anywhere you like. We're beginning to get some space in the lower back on the right side. And lengthen out your left leg if you like. If you prefer it long, with it bent, that's fine. If you have lengthened your left leg, you may find a stretch there in your left hip flexor, right in the front of the hip joint there. Okay, release your right hand and bring your arm out into T position, T position. And then with your palm up, and then lower your knee over to the left, keeping your right shoulder on the floor. So this is our first twist of the day. Don't be surprised if your knee doesn't come very close to the floor at all. But we're getting a nice stretch along our outer thigh, the right leg, the outer hip, maybe up the right side of your body, maybe all the way to your armpit. And now let's lift that leg back up and bend the left knee so the left foot is on the floor, and bring your right ankle to your left thigh or knee. We're coming into eye of the needle. Now you can stay right here. This is enough of a stretch for your right hip. If you stay here, you might want to gently press on your right thigh as we hold the pose. Otherwise, you can begin to lift your left foot up to whatever level is comfortable for you. And you might take both hands around your left thigh, your left shin, or maybe both of your hands on your right shin, which is what I'm going to do tonight. And again, we're getting a nice stretch here on the right thigh. And we want it just to feel good. We want our shoulders relaxed, our throat and neck relaxed, and our forehead relaxed. The only thing that's working is our hands holding our legs in whatever way we're doing that. And now let's lower the left leg, the left foot, and then we're going to lift the right foot towards the ceiling. We're going to come into half happy baby. So we bring the right knee towards the right armpit, and you can grab onto your right thigh, your shin, the side of your foot or your big toe. And just, again, we're getting a nice opening here in the right hip. We're stretching it in different ways. We probably are getting a stretch along the back of the leg as well. And again, we're not tensing any other part of the body. We're just holding the foot or whatever you're holding on to, and everything else is just relaxed. And if you would like, you can lengthen your left leg out. That could be pretty intense, and if it is, just bend your knee up again. And now release your right foot down to the floor. And let's bend the left knees as well. We're going to take our arms out in the T position, and we're going to have our feet about hip width apart. And let's go ahead and lower the knees to one side on an exhale. And inhale into center. Lower to the right, the left. And inhale to center. We'll just do this back and forth a few times. A gentle twist, but also helping to maybe release the right hip a little bit. One more back and forth. And then come to stillness. We're going to do the same thing for the left leg. So we're going to draw the left knee in towards the chest, pull down around the thigh with both hands or around the shin. This is Uttanasana. It's actually half Uttanasana. And we can lengthen our right leg down if we like. Again, you may get a nice stretch across the front of your hip joint here. Shoulders relaxed on the floor. Breathing. Beginning to stretch the hip joint in this direction. And now keep holding onto your left knee with your right hand and take your left hand out in the T with the palm facing up, and then gently bring your left knee over to the right. And again, keeping your left shoulder on the floor, but so your knee may not come very close to the floor on the right side. But you should be feeling, you may be feeling a nice stretch around your left hip joint, around the back of it. And let's release that knee back up. Bend your right knee and bring your left ankle to your right thigh. We're going to be coming now into eye of the needle. So again, you can stay right here and maybe gently pressing on your left thigh. Or if you want to raise your right foot, you can hold on behind your thigh, around your shin, with right shin with both your hands, or using both hands on your left shin. And again, remember, every other part of you is relaxed. You're just getting this nice stretch here in your left hip. And then release that down, right foot to the floor. And then bring your left foot towards the ceiling. We're coming into this happy baby. And again, hold on your thigh, your shin, your foot, or your toe, your big toe. And just bring your left knee towards your left armpit. And if you like, you can lengthen your right leg out. You know, being careful with what you're doing here. And then release the left foot down. And let's now take both feet to the edge of the mat, one foot to each edge of the long side. And we're going to have our arms out in the T. And we're going to drop one knee at a time. We're going to say, Let's do the right knee in towards the center, keeping the left knee up towards the ceiling. And then inhale it back up. Exhale the left knee down, keeping the right knee up. And then lift up the left knee. So exhale the right knee down. Inhale up. Exhale the left knee down. Left knee up. And we'll do it one more time on each side. Nice. All right. Let's roll over on our side. We're going to have our legs like we're sitting in a chair. So it's a 90-degree angle here at the knees and also at the hip joint. And we're going to have our right arm on the bottom and our left arm on the top. So we're on our right side, if I didn't say that. And then we're going to open up like we're a flower. So we're going to inhale and lift the left arm up and open out. And if you can only go up to the ceiling or even this far, that's fine. Just whatever your body allows. And we're going to open up to whatever you can. And then exhale, close back up. And then inhale, open with this blooming flower. And exhale, close. We'll do it 2 more times. And you might notice that where your hand didn't come very close to the floor the first time, it may be coming closer now. Maybe not, but maybe so. And then come to stillness. So this time we're going to be opening in a different way. We're going to be coming into Mermaid Pose. And again, open only as far as is comfortable for your arm. So your shoulder mainly. We're going to keep the fingers of the left hand on the floor and we're going to move them up over the head, sweeping them along the floor. And again, only as far as you can go comfortably. If this is it for you, stay there. But if you can go farther, keep on going around. And again, go only as far as is comfortable for you. And then come back around on an exhale. And then we'll do that again. Inhale, sweep the fingers around over your head, along the floor, opening it out to wherever you can. And then closing up. Nice. All right, let's turn over to the other side. So we'll be lying on our left side. We'll have again, our knees and hips at right angles. We'll have our hands on top of each other. And we're going to open up by lifting the right arm up towards the ceiling, opening to wherever is comfortable for you. And then closing on the exhale. And we'll do it a few more times. Just follow your breath, inhaling, opening. And again, opening only as far as good for you. And then closing on the exhale. And 2 more times. And when you finish your last one, we'll take a breath here, and then we'll begin to sweep our right fingers along the floor over the head. All right, so we'll inhale and sweep the fingers along the floor, opening up, again like a flower. And exhaling, coming back. And again, opening out. And closing on the exhale. Okay. And now, let's come up to seated position. And if you'd like to have a blanket under your hips, that's fine. We're going to go through the opening the chest series so that we can breathe all that wonderful air, all the spring breezes and everything. We're going to take our fingers and interlace them, turn them away, lengthen through the spine, feel your sits bones underneath you on the floor or on your blanket, and lower your head and press your hands away. Feel your shoulder blades coming apart. You might notice that most of the air that you breathe in goes to the back of the body, maybe even the top of the back. Let's release that. And now bring your hands out to the side, the thumbs down, and come back behind you here. Interlacing your fingers, shoulder blades together, coming into seated Cobra pose. So there's a tiny back bend here. But here, you may notice most of your inhale goes into the front of your body. We're opening up the front of the chest now. And then release that. Maybe roll out your shoulders a little if you like. So we're going to open the sides of our body. We're going to do it as a flow, a vinyasa. And again, if your shoulder doesn't allow you to lift up your arm all the way, you can leave your arm down even and just lift your shoulder up, and you get the same stretch along your side. So we'll take the right hand to the floor. Oh, okay, let's do it like this. And we'll take the left arm up, again, maybe just the shoulder, and fold over to the side. Okay. And then we'll come with the right arm up and the left arm down on the floor. We'll inhale up and exhale over. Inhale up and exhale over. We're like the grasses being blown by the spring breeze. We'll one more time on each side. And then bring your arms down. Good. And now we're going to do a twist. And you know, a few days ago, the wind was blowing pretty hard. So this time we're going to be twisting in the wind. Again, you're going to take your arms up as much as you can, and then we'll turn so the left hand comes to the right knee and the right hand behind. And then inhale back to center and exhale to the other side. And for that matter, you don't have to take your arms up if that's bad for you. You can come to center and then just turn towards the right. Center and turn towards the left. Or you can use your arms all the way up and exhale to the right. Inhale up and exhale to the left. Let's do it one more time. That was a pretty big windstorm we had a few days ago. And then come back to center and release your arms down. Okay, let's come to hands and knees. And again, if you like a blanket under your knees or a pillow or something, please feel free. And I thought I would also share with you some versions of how you can hold your wrist if you have wrist issues as well. You can have your shoulder directly over your wrist if you like, and have your fingers spread wide and palms and the finger pads pressing down to help protect the wrist. But if that's still not so good for your wrist, you can also move your hand out some. And so the angle between your lower arm and your hand will be less on this side. That's another way you can help your wrist. My favorite one is to make like a fist, and you keep your wrist straight and have your hand directly under your shoulder. So those are three versions that you could use if you have wrist issues. So we're going to take your pick of how you like your hands. If your hands are on the ground, spread your fingers wide, press into your finger pads, and we're in table pose here. Our belly button is slightly towards the spine. And then we're going to exhale and come into cat. The back rounds up, the head lowers. We inhale, the belly lowers, the head comes up. And exhaling into cat. And inhaling into cow. So this is the cows being let out. Continue with your cat-cow with your own breath. But the cows are being let out of their barn because it's springtime, and even the barn cat comes out. And then come to stillness. The next thing we're going to do, you can keep doing cat and cow if you like. We're going to move our hands out a little ways. And again, we'll keep the fingers spread wide and the knees under the hips. And we're going to, this time as we exhale, we're just going to come back towards child's pose. Actually not making it there, probably. And then we're going to come forward and maybe coming into a plank pose. Okay, so your back is straight there. Let me get my hands in the right place. Or if you like to do up dog, we can do an up dog here by lowering the hips down and getting an arch in the back. And then exhaling to the back. And inhaling either to plank or upward facing dog. And then back to almost child's pose. And coming into upward facing dog or plank again. And then this time, when we go back, let's widen our knees out and come into child's pose. So we're sit our hips back as much as is comfortable. We're going to lower our forehead to the mat or to your arms or a block, whatever is comfortable for you. And just take a few breaths there. And if you were using a chair, you could sit on the chair and widen your legs out and do a forward fold, and that would be your child's pose. So child's pose is like you are a seed under the earth here. Okay. Take a few more breaths. And then raise yourself back up into your table pose. And we're going to move our hands a little bit in front of our shoulders, fingers wide, middle fingers pointing forward. Tuck the toes, and we're going to begin by lifting the knees and bringing our head between our arms, pressing into the hands, into the fingertips, and then begin to straighten your legs as much as is comfortable or as little as you want. And then begin to pedal it out. Really press into the heels of your hands so your back gets long. And then come to stillness. And if you want to come out of it at any time, please feel free to. We're all going to meet in child's pose in a bit. For those of you who want to stay up, let's take a few more breaths. And then release on down, widen your knees out, and come back into child's pose. Maybe roll your wrist out if you like, or open and close your fingers. And now we're going to come up. We're that seed growing. So we're coming up on our knees, and then we're going to come up to standing. Okay. We'll come into mountain pose just for a moment here. Feet underneath your hips, shoulders up and around. Top of your head towards the ceiling. Belly button gently in towards your spine. Eyes closed if you like. And feel how balanced you are here. This balance that we find on the 20th of March with the equinox. And then open up your eyes. So I'm going to do something here just for a second. Okay. All right, so we're going to do a flow. You know, nature is flowing all around us. So we're going to do a basic sun salutation. It's a variation. We are not going to do a chaturanga or Cobra in it. We're going to do warrior poses. That's what we're going to be doing. So come to the short end of the mat. Let's just do the beginning of sun salutation to begin with. So we'll inhale our arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, flat back, and release down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, release down. Inhale, bend your knees slightly, press into your feet, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, arms to your side. We'll do that one more time, just like that. Inhale, out and up. I think most of you are familiar with it. Exhale, swan dive forward, release down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, release down. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Hands together and bring them down in front of your heart center. We'll take a few breaths here, and then we'll go into this full variation of a sun salutation. Okay, release your arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, flat back, release down. Inhale to the flat back. Exhale, release down. Bend your knees, hands to the floor. Step your right foot back so that your foot is pointed out just a little bit. Your right foot is pointed out a little. And when you're ready, press into both feet to lift up, maybe with your hands on your thigh if you like. Now check your knee on your left leg. Make sure it's over your ankle, not in front or in or out. And then when you're ready, lift your arms into warrior one. Both feet are pressing all the way into the floor equally. And now we're going to open into warrior two. So we'll open our arms out, and we're going to maybe have to shift our feet a little bit. Again, making sure that the left knee is still over the ankle. And we're going to try to have our body coming straight up out of our pelvis. It looks like I'm crooked. Okay, there we go. All right. And then lower the right hand down to your thigh. Turn the left hand over and come into peaceful warrior. Back to warrior two. And then to side angle pose. Your left lower arm comes to your thigh. You keep your chest open, your right arm stretching long. And then we bring both hands down to the floor. Turn the back toes forward and step forward into forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale, bend your knees, press into your feet, sweep your arms out and up, hands together, coming into your heart center now. Let's close our eyes, notice how you feel. And now we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll inhale out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward, flat back, release down. Inhale up to the flat back. Exhale, release your hands to the floor, bend your knees, and step back with your left foot. I think that's the opposite one. Okay. When you're ready, come up. Check your knee, check your right knee. Bring your arms up into warrior one. Back leg straight, pressing in on the left foot as much as the right foot. Open up into warrior two. And again, you may want to adjust your feet a little bit. Okay. And look over your right fingers here in warrior two. Lower your left hand to your left thigh. Turn your right hand over, come into peaceful warrior. Come back to warrior two. And move into side angle pose. Your right lower arm on your thigh, your left arm stretching, keeping your chest open so you have a nice long stretch from your heel, left heel up to your left fingers. And now turn and bring your hands to the floor. Turn your left toes forward and then step forward, whoops, into forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press into your feet, lift up all the way. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra and bring them down to heart center. And again, notice how you feel. Do you feel all that spring energy rushing through your body? And let's release our hands down. All right. We're going to do a chair pose. And again, we'll be opening up. So feet about hip width apart. And when you come into chair, you want to make sure that your knees stay behind your toes. You don't want them out in front, okay? So, bring your bottom down just as much as is good for you. And then we're going to lift our arms up, coming into chair pose. Take a few breaths here. Feel your core working, feel your thighs working. Bring your arms so that they're out in front of you. Let's put them together even. And then we're going to open our right arm to the right into a twist. Come back to center. And then inhale and open your left arm out to the side. Again, a little twist. And exhale, come back to center. Let's press into our feet and come up. Okay. So let's release that low back just a little bit. So widen out your feet and just do empty quote arms, swinging back and forth. Ah, that felt nice. Okay. Well, you know that the trees are getting buds on them. So what we're going to do now is a tree pose. We're going to find something to look at that isn't moving and really focus on that. Having a focal point really helps with balance. We're going to shift our weight into the right leg and begin to bend the left knee, open it out to the side, and put your left heel on your right ankle or anywhere on your shin, whatever is good. And you can have your big toe on the floor. Now, if this is enough for you, stay right here. If you feel sturdy, go ahead and begin to lift your left foot, sliding it up your shin, past your knee, to your thigh if you like, wherever you want. So I'm going to just bring it up a little ways onto my shin. And also, you can come in and out as many times as you need. There we go. And then I'm going to have some buds on my tree. Some pretty naked limbs that the buds are starting. Oh, for heaven's sakes. And then bring your knee forward, your arms down, and bring your foot back to the floor. Huh. Let's hope my left leg is better. Okay. No judgment, no judgment. It's all good. Okay. All right, so shift your weight to your left leg. Lift up out of that left hip. Core is engaged. Get your focal point. Turn your right knee out. Have your heel on your right heel on your left ankle. And if you feel steady, go ahead and lift up your right foot. Man, there must be a huge wind here tonight. There we go. And once again, I have buds on my limbs. Breathe. And then turn your right knee forward, lower your foot to the floor, and your arms come down. Well, I hope you all had a better balanced time than I did, although it's all good. I have to remind myself. Okay. So let's come back down to the mat. And we'll get on our backs. And I always like to end with a twist. So let's take our arms out to the side. And our knees are bent, feet on the floor. Press into your feet and lift your hips to the left. And raise your knees over your chest. And lower them gently to the floor. Now, if you can, keep your left shoulder on the floor. But since I said no, that we needed no props tonight, it's okay if it comes up a little bit. And then if you all want to do a little bit more, you lengthen your left leg and flex the left foot. Just relax here. Let all your muscles relax. And then bend your knee if it was straight. Use your arms by pressing into the floor to help lift up your knees. Bring your feet to the floor and straighten out your spine again. Okay. So now we're going to go the other way. Press into your feet and lift your hips over to the right. Knees towards your chest. And then lower them to the left. And again, you try to keep that right shoulder on the floor. If it comes up, it's okay. Let's go ahead and if you like, you can straighten your right leg, having your thighs come back together again, and flex your right foot. And again, feel all your muscles soften, releasing. Nice deep breaths here. And then bend your knee if your leg was straight. Press into the floor with your arms and lift your knees. Bring your feet to the floor. Get your spine nicely aligned. And let's lift our feet from the floor, hands to the knees, and rock gently back and forth. And then circle your knees, really massaging the low back. And then we'll reverse the circles. And come to stillness and bring your feet to the floor and lengthen on into Shavasana and make yourself as comfortable as you can. You might want a blanket under your knees or under your head, a blanket to cover with, whatever you like. All right, so close your eyes and let's start this Shavasana the same way we started the class. We'll take a deep breath in and exhale even more slowly. And again, inhale deeply and exhale slowly, feeling your body relax. And 2 more times. And then begin to settle into your own breath, your own natural breath. So bring your attention to the top of your head and release all the muscles of your scalp. Relax your forehead, smoothing out any wrinkles that you find there. Relax your eyes back in your eye sockets. Relax your cheeks and your lips. Relax your jaw. Your mouth may come open just a little bit as those muscles release. And relax your tongue back in your mouth. Relax your neck and your throat. And feel your head and neck heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Relax your shoulders, your upper arms and elbows, lower arms and wrists. Relax the palm of your hand and the back of your hand and all the fingers. And feel your shoulders and arms heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Relax the large muscles on your back and all the little muscles along your spine. Relax the front of your body and all the organs inside. Relax your hips, upper legs and knees, lower legs and ankles. Relax the sole of your foot and the top of your foot. And relax all of your toes. And feel your hips and legs heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Feel your whole body heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Take the next few minutes to enjoy this relaxation. And now it's time to begin to move your muscles, maybe starting with the small ones like fingers and toes and wrists and ankles. And then begin to move the large muscles of your body in whatever way feels good to you. Maybe a full body stretch again. And when you're ready, bend your knees and roll to one side. Take a breath there. And then using your hands, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Maybe tilt your chin down just a little bit. May the long-time sun shine upon you. All the love surround you. And the pure light within you guide you along. Thank you for joining me this evening. Namaste.